This video was supposed to go up in 2019 and I just completely lost control of this project. It was very embarrassing. I felt like a complete failure. The 3 episodes that we've done so far just all have such a negative undertone to it. The goal was to not throw people under the bus or anything like that. It's just, I wanted to show what it was really like trying to run an amateur team for the first year. And I think that I've done a good job of showing that I have no idea what I'm doing. But I've learned a lot. It's time to move on to 2020. Season 2 of Making the Team will be a thing. We'll do probably 4 episodes of that, but we just need to move on past this. So bear with me as I try to wrap up the story of the 2019 Making the Team. Hey, this is the final episode of season 1 of Making the Team. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the finishing of 2019, how we wrapped up the year, and what 2020 looks like, but definitely Making the Team is going to be an ongoing series. We're coming off of episode 3 where we finally found our groove. We were working well as a team. We got some good results. And then my decision to sort of pull back on some of the funding for racing of masters divisions, that was my choice because I'm looking at the budget and I'm trying to project on what we're gonna do in the future. And my biggest concern in going into making this team was running out of money early, right? Being like, hey, we have 4 more months of racing and there's no more money. You know, I didn't ever want to put another person in a situation where they had to, you know, come out of pocket. I came out of pocket quite a bit, but that's another story. It caused some drama. And so then at the end of episode 3, like all the episodes, it was just sort of left off on a negative note. And it is what it is. Dude, here's the thing. This is why people don't show this, is because there's a lot of negative. There's a lot of drama behind teams. Even the most well-functioning, high-budget teams, they'll have a little bit of drama that they're not going to talk about. But that's not what this is about. This is about looking at that and, you know, hate it or love it or whatever, dude. This is just what it is, and I'm putting it out there. Let's jump into the final few races of the season. So the first race that we're going to pick up from, I can't remember the name of the race right now. Jasper was actually there, and me and him were going to race. He borrowed one of my bikes. I camped the night before. We had a solid squad. This is your first road race in America?
Ever.
So what do you think? I mean, it's flat.
That's good. Because all the races usually have hills. But I was driving up here and everything is pretty much flat up until those mountains where we're not gonna go. So that's good.
Yeah. We've got a pretty decent squad here. I was kind of wanting Jasper to ride for us, but I feel like, I don't know. That's like just giving dudes kits to, you know, I'm just basically buying the Peloton to get us a win. And he didn't ask, so I didn't want to push it. But we've got a solid crew, dude. We have Nick and Josh, great sprinters. Chad's is here, Greg and Russ. So then we start the race, and Mike's bikes, they split the field. So instantly within the first like 1 or 2 miles, there was a good break of like 10. And then that split started happening. So then I bridged that and brought everyone and closed that gap because we didn't like that mix up. As soon as I did that, I got a flat. And there's just no way you can get back on. It is what it is. The race went away from me. But then shortly after that, we got Sam and Chaz into like a 6 or 7 man breakaway that then just got an infinite amount of time. Dude, it was crazy. The group came to a crawl, right? Because all the teams were represented. Chaz and Sam made the break like, dude, solid. And they're motoring. A couple laps later, I think Sam had a mechanical, or he got a flat, and so he flatted out of the break, so it was just up to Chaz versus 3 Mike Spikes riders. But dude, they were counterattacking him, And I'm at the finish line waiting to see what's gonna happen. And then I see Chaz, and I can't remember the Mike Spikes guy's name, coming up the finish like heads up, dude.
Okay, let's away from the camera, guys.
All right, sorry.
Camera.
Come on, Chaz, one last push!
Hey, dude, great job, man. Dude.
Oh my gosh, dude. Nothing like being freaking lone wolf in a Mike Spike sandwich for the last, I don't know, 6 miles. They would counterattack after counterattack after counterattack. After he attacked at 1K to go, stayed on his wheel, just didn't have it coming up the hill.
So how did it go out there?
Ouch.
I tried to get you a bottle, dude. I was yelling at you.
The motor rep said I couldn't do it. He's like, you gonna get a bottle? I was like, yeah. Gotta wait till heat zone.
How dumb was that?
Dude, the most frustrating and boring race I've ever done.
Hey, good job, man.
Nice sprint.
Thanks.
I was in your wheel.
This is a hard, like last, 15 miles because of all the game playing, but kind of sucks that the first 2/3 of the race we weren't even racing. We were just out for a
It was
stroll.
even slower than my slowest group ride ever.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
Well, because what
I don't know, man.
everyone's represented in that move.
Everyone had somebody to move, but they didn't just stop chasing. They stopped riding at all.
Yeah.
I wasn't even. I mean, I was doing pace. We were attacking hard. Everybody in a long line. But when we stopped attacking, everybody just.
That's it.
We were doing 30 kilometers an hour. I look behind me and everybody's like, I got something in the breakaway. Like, dude, you have 5 minutes.
And this is a very prestigious race. So to have our boy Chaz, who's just coming into form late season, rocketing up this hill, and he just barely got nipped at the line. I mean, he got second, and that was like really good, dude. A lot of the rest of the break actually had blown up, and then the field caught some of them. And then, so for the pack sprint, if you will, we had Josh beat Jasper like heads up. It was pretty cool. We came away with a podium, second for Chaz, at a very prestigious road race. And I think we rode really well together. I didn't. I mean, I bridged one move and then I got a flat, so whatever. But Chaz, dude, he rode super smart and grabbed us a great result. Going into the next road race was the San Ardo road race, which I did a full video on this, but from the gun, Chaz went off the front. And now we had Russ and Greg and Nick and myself and Chaz, so like 5 guys, overwhelmingly the bigger team, okay? There was only like a couple other teams that had 2 guys, right? So we're stunned. And he goes, and he's the strongest right now. He's coming into major form, and he goes off from the gun on a 90-mile road race. And I was like so pissed, dude. I was like, dude, you are for sure going to get a top 3, like no matter how this race finishes, just as long as you don't completely destroy yourself from the gun, which then he does. Go, and he got a pretty good gap, and then Greg lost a pedal right away, but then me, Russ, and Nick were sort of patrolling the front and just making sure that if there was any bridge attempt to Chaz, one of us was going to be in it, getting a free ride up there, right? We didn't want to just allow 2 or 3 guys to bridge up to Chaz and then give him not a chance, because like right now we have a 100% chance of winning this race with him off the front if he stays away. So me, Nick, and Russ, dude, blew our buttholes out to make sure that if anything was going, one of us was there to sort of shut it down or discourage it. And then if the pace was going, you know, if no one was attacking, we were sort of riding the front at a pace that's not going to catch Chaz, but that is going to sort of discourage people from just launching attacks. So it was a gamble because the rest of our team we're going to be smoked for the finish. And here's the thing. You want to set up an opportunity for your teammates to do well. Creating that opportunity is very difficult to do. Performing under pressure when that opportunity presents itself is a whole nother aspect. I've had a lot of opportunities to win, and I've always choked. So Chaz has the opportunity to win, and bro, he crushed it. I mean, dude, 90 miles, like something like 4 hours just, and he stayed away. He stayed away, dude. It was crazy.
Breakaway win. Yeah.
Chaz is a freaking beast, man. He went from the gun, 90 miles solo for the dub. Let's go talk to Chaz, dude.
I attacked, I don't know what 2 miles in I attacked, and no one followed me, so I just kind of paced that threshold there for a while, and after 20 minutes, like, I felt good, so I kept holding threshold, and an hour later, it was still at threshold, and just kept on it, and hoped someone would bridge. No one bridged, and with the team helped so much in the field, covering moves, shutting down stuff, breaking up the chase. I think that's the only reason why I stayed away. If it wasn't for the team, I wouldn't have stayed away.
That felt so good, dude. It felt so good to just kill yourself and slay yourself for your teammate to go and get that victory. So Chaz, Nick, Russ, you know, Greg had an issue, but we all felt felt great, dude. Okay, so there are a couple things that a NorCal team can win. One of the things at the very beginning I wanted to win was best all-around team for the P12s and best all-around rider. Thought that would be freaking sweet for the first year of a team to do that, and I thought we had the firepower to do that. After the San Ardo race and towards the end of the year, we were there, man. We were tied or just under best all-around team for P12, like second place. Josh was competing for best all-around rider, like he was in the mix. And then Chaz was in the mix for the Cal Cup. That was like just crazy, dude, that we were in the hunt. So then the next race we went to was Winters. I got into a break. I did break a breakdown of this race, but I got into a break from the gun to help my teammates. It has a really steep, pitchy climb on this course, and so Chaz was probably going to do well. Josh was probably going to do well. I mean, it was a difficult race. I got into a breakaway. It lasted about 70 miles. I mean, I really tried to just fall on the sword for the team, and if we stayed away, that would have been awesome for me personally, but you know, we did get caught.
Yeah, you're right.
Fuck. Come on, Chaz. Get it, dude. There was some heavy hitters like Huggins, Berman, Legion, you know, the Mike Spikes crew. I mean, they made sure that it kind of all came back together. And then I think on the last lap, a break went on the climb and Chaz missed out on it. But Chaz and Josh both got valuable points. You know, they didn't get on the podium, but they got valuable points for the best all-around team, best all-around rider, and the Cal Cup. So now from this point on, I don't really have any footage of racing. The team budget was getting very low. And like I said, I did not want to put anyone in a situation where I was like, hey, I can't pay for your races anymore. So personally, I sort of bowed out. And I don't want to make that sound like I'm a hero or whatever, but it's when I'm looking at the budget, like how can I reduce our expenditure? And that's, I cannot race, okay? So I kind of stopped racing. Plus I had a bunch of fondos coming up, the New Jersey fondo, the Alpine Loop fondo, the Hammer fondo. There was a lot of other events that I was gonna be doing, but Chaz and Josh really started going to whatever races they could to ensure that they would get points for the best all-around team and best all-around rider in the Cal Cup. And either way, dude, what ended up happening is like we put Greg and Russ, I think they were in a race that just like barely ticked over the points for best all-around team. Josh went and did a time trial just to make sure that he had points, right, for the best all-around rider. Chaz wrapped up the Cal Cup by getting a top 10 at one of the crits. Like, bro, we were ending the year strong. Greg and Russ were really just killing themselves. Same with Sam, doing a lot to help the team. With me sort of detached, they all kind of came together, dude. It did great, so maybe that's saying something about my leadership skills, is that when I sort of bow out, they kill it. That's where we're kind of ending off, dude, is that Josh won best all-around rider for the NCNCA, Northern California Race Division. Our team, SP2 cycling team, won the best all-around team for P12. I can't tell you how awesome that is. And there was like a banquet and awards thing that I didn't go to. I couldn't go to. I think I was out of town when it happened, which is a super bummer, dude. This whole series, I was really in my mind thinking like, dude, that's gonna be the sickest ending shot of our team accepting this award. I don't have it. I don't have the shot. I wasn't there. Anyway, dude, we won best all-around team. Chaz also won the Cal Cup. So if there's anything that our team could have won, we won it all. We won it all, dude. And what happened when you look back on it is that we didn't have the biggest budget, right? Our team chemistry was a complete shit show, but we had a lot of riders that peaked throughout different points of the year. So I peaked hard in like February and March. Cameron and Isaiah, they all got some great points. Greg got a great result. Josh was killing it towards the end of the year. Chaz came on super strong at the end of the year. So, I mean, we just had this like consistency, right? As if where other teams would have these flashes of, 1, 2, 3 on the box or just winning stuff, Tarun. They, at Snelling, they got like 60 points or something on that one race alone. You know what I mean? And so there was a couple times, like we were battling with Tarun back and forth. But dude, we finished it off with winning everything you could win, which is amazing. So let's talk about, after essentially winning all this stuff, the team, for the most part, completely fell apart. So Isaiah got an offer to ride with Legion. Of course, right? Like he even messaged me. He was like, hey man, they gave me this offer and you've been super good to me. Because dude, Isaiah was one that like our team was locked, everything was done, and he came to our team camp and we did not have the budget to fully support him. But after seeing him ride and like the passion that he had for it and how young he was, it was like, dude, I don't care what has to get done. Like I'll put out my own money to make sure that Isaiah has an opportunity to race his bike, because he's just a freaking fantastic kid. So when he came to me and he was like, Legion wants me on their squad, it's like, no hesitation, without a doubt, bro, you've got to take that. You know what I mean? And so I'm very proud of him doing that. Cameron, during his stay with our team, got his Cat 1 upgrade points. So that was what his major goal was. I don't know where he's going next year, but he just said he's definitely not going to be on this team again. So I don't know what he has in the works, but I wish him the best. Kevin and Matt, they were very unhappy with how the team was ran. And so they were like, I don't want to be a part of this. So that's okay. Josh ended up getting an offer to go ride for Mark Pro, which is one of the top elite teams in our area. If you can go race for a really well-oiled, fantastic team and lock yourself into something well into the future, sure, great. Josh did take our second biggest sponsor though with him. So that was a blow. So losing a $5,000 a year sponsor and our star sprinter left me in a situation of trying to think of like, how do I put something together for next year? Also, Timmy, without Timmy, man, I don't know what I would do. He led the team so well. He did so much work with the social media. I mean, dude, just Timmy was the freaking man. I think that Timmy probably overall invested a lot of time and energy into it and didn't really get anything out of it. he wants to race for himself, he wants to win, and there wasn't really ever a moment in the race where we were focused on getting him the win. So for 2020, his plan is he's just gonna race solo. Without even knowing what the budget for next year was, like I gave him an offer of like, hey, I'd love to have you on the team. I'll pay for your races, I'll pay for your kits. Because I felt like I owed him, like I was in debt to him, you know what I mean? And I wanted him to be on the team, but he's gonna do his own thing. So that leaves us with Nick, Chaz, Sam, Greg, Russ, and myself, and Terrence. Sort of like, what are we gonna do for next year? So now this puts me in a really crummy situation because SP2 won't be on as a title sponsor. I don't want to get too much into the drama, which this is always so much drama. They did not complete their contracted agreement for sponsorship dollars, which put me in a friggin' real pickle. Is what it is, dude. I don't have any hard feelings. I've been on that other end where, you know, when I owned my motorcycle shop business, dude, 1 month I was on top of the world. I was trying to expand. I was like making deals. And then just in 1 month, dude, everything got ripped away from me. And I had everyone with their hands out like, give me money, give me money, give me money. And I know how that feels to be in a business where you can't, and you don't, and you want to be like ethical and you want to be, you know, your word means something. But when you don't have the money, you don't have the money. I have no hard feelings against them. It's just business, you know what I mean? But it definitely put me in a hard situation. And then so to have lost our title sponsor and our secondary sponsor, what are you gonna do for next year? Like, how do I house the guys we have? You know, I've got some plans and I've got some ideas. And I think that will lead us into season 2, episode 1 of making the team. But essentially, I think as of right now, we've got some good sponsors coming on board, but the budget is going to be way less. And a lot of the people involved in the team, riding on the team, are actually financially invested in it. It's an uncomfortable conversation that you're going to have with guys, and I'm going to do the best I can. But I think next year, I'm going to take control of the title sponsorship. Ride Bikes Bro. It's going to be the title sponsor. This is one of the big things that I really learned, is that if you're going into a team, one, dude, don't bite off more than you can chew, which I did. Build some sort of proof of concept, which I did not. And then get into bed with sponsors that you can undoubtedly trust, right? 100% count on for many years. Not just, hey, let's see what happens for a year and then we'll go from there. Like 3-year contracts, 5-year contracts. And with Ride Bikes Pro, it's my thing. So I know I can trust that because I can trust me. I do have some fantastic supporting sponsors that are already coming on. My coach, ATP Coaching, he's coming back on for next year. Nick Baird, you know, he's a realtor. He's bringing on some money. Anyway, I want to kind of make more official announcements on the next video, next series. But we are racing next year. It's just going to look a lot different. That's okay. That's all right. I think that I learned a ton from this year. And one of the best things that I can do to sleep at night is that no one on the team had to pay really anything, right? They weren't ever stuck with a bill. They were never, hey, can you reimburse me? And I go, no, because it was never like that. There was never any reimbursement. It was just paid for the races beforehand. You know, I lived up to my word, and guys got to race all year. We got to have some fun. We got to learn. We'll make some changes going into next year. The current sponsors, you know, Oak Valley Bank, they kind of took a gamble with me and they lived up to their word. That was fantastic. High Top Coffee, you know, they came in at a small sponsorship, but they really helped out with like coffee and other things. Science and Sport was fantastic. I mean, we had unlimited product, dude. Our guys were never hungry. ATP Coaching, he actually did really well out of it. He got a couple clients, so like return on investment was the highest for my coach. Eliel, I mean, me and Eliel are homies. I think they did well out of the sponsorship. They're gonna continue their sponsorship into next year, so that's fantastic. Still looking to potentially get Oakley on board with like helmets and sunglasses, so I'm knocking down that door. Look, dude, it's expensive to go racing. Next year, I wanna focus a little bit more like EF education, gone racing type stuff, right? So let's ride all the bikes, let's race hard, let's have a good time, and let's not get overextended. Let's keep a tight-knit group of guys that I know that I can afford, have a 3 to 5 year plan for this thing, take some steps back, recenter, grow something that has life, that has a base, withstand changes of roster and sponsorships. You know what I mean? I put all my eggs in one basket. It was all teetering. It was destined to fail when you look back at how I structured everything. How can you can't predict that if you've never done that before. I've got some valuable experiences. I hope you enjoyed this series. I know a lot of it was negative. It is what it is, dude, but it was a lot of fun when you look back on it. It was a lot of work, it was very stressful, but I'm gonna do it again, so that tells you something. And everyone who gave me their time and their effort in this team, thank you a ton. I know that maybe it wasn't exactly what you had hoped for, but this video series was to go in depth behind the team, behind the workings, look at the budget, look at the drama, look at how, what it takes. And hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. So anyway, I'll do a whole video on my takeaway from this, but this concludes, season 1 of Making the Team. As always, guys, Vegan Cyclist. Yeah!